first letter, you twerks better. Get the fuck out of my face before I leave his shirt wet up. When I'm squirting this bird redder, I keep my blaze up and my words sweat up this herb sweater. Only your pussy deserve better. It's murder one lyric, they don't wanna come near it, cause I know this song fear it, cause they know my flow is separate the body from spirit, fresh out of the side.
Ladies and gentlemen, your boy is back. And I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm the least important person on my own show right now, which is crazy right now. So before we go into Impact Rebellion, we're going to go over the card. We're going to shoot straight through. We're not going to do night 1, night 2, and all that other hoopla, right? Let me introduce these people first because I'm super excited to be working with them. Listen, when people are legends, you give them their due. You give them their due right now, so I'm going to do that. And I'm only going to introduce him as one thing, and he's the king of interviews. He's the king of podcasting. He's on everything you've ever heard of and not heard of, and then more. Mr. LFC podcast himself, Mike Larkin. How are you, sir? Good morning, first off.
Good morning, baby. I'm good, Chef. Thank you so much. How you doing?
I'm wonderful, man. I'm wonderful. I'm just, listen, when me and you work together, it's a super dope vibe. We've been doing this for a while, so I'm always having fun when I have you on, brother.
The feeling is mutual. Thank you so much.
All right. Now this one. Listen, I'm going to tell you now, if you don't know who the Demoness is, I don't even know if I should say her name because I don't know if you say the name 3 times, all of a sudden she appears. And listen, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to scream like a white chick in a scary movie. I'm going to call the Demoness from the UK. The Demoness, how are you, my sister?
Hello, mortals. How are we, my brother?
You see how this works? People are getting called mortals. This is why I'm afraid to say the name, but I'm wonderful. I'm wonderful. I'm sitting back here, I'm just relaxing. We all like what we're about to talk about, so it's going to be a whole lot of fun. What was I going to say? Because I get a little nervous. I mean, we're all talking to a demon here, so is there anything you want to say to these mortals before we go to the next person?
What could we say that could make them shake all through their bodies? I'm watching. I'm waiting. The darkness is the answer, as always. But hello, everyone, and thank you for having us.
I'm excited. Now, my next guy, he's a legend. If you don't know this dude's name, you know what? Just don't hit the like. Don't subscribe. Don't do none of that because you shouldn't be on here. Because if you don't know this man, it makes no sense why you're on this show. Andre Corbill, how are you, brother?
Oh, yeah, cream about to rise to the top, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm proud to be here on the podcast.
This is what I'm talking about. Listen, we have like 3 different time zones. We got like 7 a.m. Canada. We got like sometime in the afternoon in the UK. I got rainy Florida going on. Mike, what's the weather like? And I know you're on the same time as me, but is that the Demon Hound?
Yeah, we apologise. My demon, it's my demon other half has just walked through the back gate, so my dog's warning us that he's coming home. But it's all good. It's all good.
So, Impact Rebellion. I know people are excited about it. There's a few things that, we don't know yet. We don't know if, you know what? We'll just go right into it. I'm just going to read it off the way I'm going to read it off. It's not going to be any specific order. And we'll just go through it and say what we think. And, if the matches happen or not, because there are 2 that are up for grabs at the moment because of this coronavirus and all the quarantine and, people are trying to stay safe and keep their families and loved ones safe. So you understand all that. It's attacking our way of life. It's attacking our favorite things. It's a crazy process. So this is why I think we are doing these podcasts as much as we do to try to keep people home and entertain them and everybody safe. I'm going to jump right into Ken Shamrock versus Sami Callihan. I'm going to go last because I know I feel a certain way about a Mr. Ken Shamrock. But I'm going to do ladies first on this one. Nicola or Demoness. Like I said, I can only say the name one time. So What do you think about Ken Shamrock and Sami Callihan, the ICU thing? You know, and yes, this match is up for grabs, but let's not even worry about that. Sami Callihan, Ken Shamrock, how do you feel?
I feel like at the minute, Ken Shamrock is a very, very, very strong personality, but I'm not a humongous fan of him, not in the slightest, because he used to be a different kind of fighter, didn't he? I don't remember what it's called. It was a cage fighter, wasn't he, or something like that?
Yes.
Yeah, he used to be in the UFC and like MMA.
It. Yeah, that's it. And I saw some of his fights and I thought he was awesome. But in wrestling, he seems to be like someone that shouldn't be there, if you know what I mean. But that is just my opinion of him. Sammy's doing what Sammy does best, which is attacking everyone, not giving a shit. Bit like my character, really, sometimes. But yeah, not giving a shit who he hurts, what he does. He just wants people to know he's there, and that's what he's shown. But I like the whole concept. Who will win? I'm hoping Sammy, because I just want to see Ken Shamrock get his ass kicked, pretty much.
That's fair with me. I think we all on that page. I'm going to go to Mr. Mike Larkin, and then after that, we're going to go to the legend Andre Corbiel. So, Mike, what you got, brother?
Well, for this one, we got Ken Shamrock, former Intercontinental Champion, Tag Team Champion, first ever TNA Champion, UFC, professional wrestling. We saw what happened with Sami Callihan's ICU character, kind of like an elevation of what he did in NXT with the Solomon Crow gimmick. Personally, I've been digging what he's been doing as his little minions type of deal with the ICU. And Ken Shamrock, like I said, man, it's very interesting to see what they're doing since he's now going into the Hall of Fame. But in this particular scenario, I could see a Cactus Special 1, 2, 3. Sami Callihan gets the win. So I'm going with Mr. ICU himself, Sami Callihan, to win. And there's history here, Chef, because we have the whole thing with OVE, and Madman Fulton is the one that took out Ken Shamrock back in January. So there's a little bit of history with Callihan and the whole OVE clan and Ken Shamrock. Go ahead, Andre. Go ahead, Andre.
All right. We got the world's most dangerous man versus one of the best promo men in the business in Sami Callihan, going up against the first Impact Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion, Ken Shamrock. And this feud to this point has been all about Sami Callihan having carte blanche in terms of taking up the real estate in Ken Shamrock's head. And I ultimately think that Ken Shamrock may join the ICU when this is all said and done with. Now, I don't know if they're going to do this at the pay-per-view or whatnot, or if we're just going to have a straight-up match. I think we're going to have a straight-up match at Rebellion, but ultimately it'll have Ken Shamrock joining the ICU, and Sami Callihan is going over at Rebellion.
Wow. He just made me change everything I was about to say, because I was going to, do the whole, I don't like Ken Shamrock. I hope he gets mopped up. The last time I seen him in a fight, Kimbo put him to sleep. And now thinking about, and listen, I hate when people do that, but it's so awesome because it switches up what you think on the spot. And, I'm not a fan of Ken Shamrock, but, if Ken Shamrock joins ICU, that's a good look. I'm not even mad at that. So, my whole little spiel that I was going to kick, to just crap on Ken Shamrock, now reversed to, oh, I can't wait to see this guy in ICU. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I tell this is why the man is what, this is why he does what he does, because he's the man and he does these things. And then when you hear it, you just got to kind of go with it. Yeah. Kudos, because I just changed my whole tune. I don't even want to talk about it. So now here goes a controversial one. I know you either are or you're not a fan of Jordana Grace. I am not, but you have Jordana Grace versus Taya Valkyrie, Full Metal Mayhem for the Impact Knockouts champion. Once again, I think I have to go with Nicola. So I got to stop. That's twice. And then I'm going to go with Andre, and then we'll go with Mike. So, Nicole, lead off, because how can we do a ladies match and not have the lady go first? Full Metal Mayhem, Taya Valkyrie, Jordana Grace. What do you have?
I'm a fan of both. Jordan's come far, really, really, really quickly, and I'm loving her as champ. But I've also, with Taya, she's kind of, I don't know, Rosemary's playing with her head a little bit. So, well, then again, she's playing with everyone's head right now. But I do want to see. I like where Taya's going with her character right now. She's kind of gone into just smashing people with chairs and just being very brutal. And we all know how I like brutality. So, Taya for the win. And obviously there's going to be loads of metal and there's going to be loads of tools and stuff. So, yeah, my kind of match. I love Metal Mayhem matches. Always been a fan of them.
All right, go ahead, Andre.
Oh, it's my turn.
Yes, sir.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Knockouts championship match. Taya Valkyrie, longest reigning Impact Wrestling Knockouts champion in company history, taking on the new champion. And that's what this is all about, wrestling fans, is the new champion. Amidst this coronavirus outbreak, this global pandemic, Jordana Grace hasn't really had the chance to shine like a diamond as Knockouts champion to this point. So with that being said, I'm going to stick with the champion retaining her title at Rebellion because she needs to shine.
Agreed.
I think for me, what's interesting is like they've had so many great bouts and we've seen them go neck and neck. And then Jordana Grace finally beats Ty in Mexico. Never really been, but I sure like to go James Taylor style. And then we see, the culmination of Jordana Grace going against a lot of Madison Rayne's choices in Vegas. We get to see Ty a little bit on that downward spiral. So desperate times call for desperate measures. It's Full Metal Mayhem. Now, I was a fan back in the day of Taylor Wilde and Daphne when they had the first ever female Monsters Ball. So for me, I'm all about just seeing the violence and the brutality, and it really hyped up into this matchup here. So for me, I could see Grace Driver through a chair, Grace Driver through a table, Jordana Grace retaining the Knockouts Championship, and plus she just got it. So Jordana Grace for the win. It's Full Metal Mayhem.
Sadistic Mike Larkin.
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to sit here and disagree with everybody on here. I got to do it like Of course, I gotta do it like that. It wouldn't be me if I did. So listen, I got no beef with Jordana Grace. She, like I said, she's very good in the ring. So whatever you think about her Twitter stuff, I don't really care because as long as you're entertaining me in the ring and everything else, that's what I care about. But I'm and I don't want to call myself a fanboy. I was going to call myself a man boy, a fanboy or a mark. But I might slide into those categories with Taya. I just won't admit it publicly, but I think I did. But I just think that Taya is on a different level than a lot of women in this industry. I think she had a completely different look. I do think it helps that she's Latin, and I definitely take pride in my Latin people. But I just love Taya. I think she's best for business, and I understand. This girl just won the belt, and you really don't want to pull it off of her because switching the belts, it kind of devalues it a little bit because it keeps flip-flopping. But no, I'm going to pick Taya. And if not, I always forget the guy's name, the guy that Johnny Bravo.
Yep.
I hope somehow he gets his ass in the cage and Jordana Grace does what she did to him the last time, because the last time I seen him, she put a kendo stick to his dome piece.
Yep.
Like, I mean, she put a beast to that guy, and it's, I never really, he's a referee, and I know, he actually trains and has a school, and a lot of people just think he's a ref, and he's not. But watching him get his chicken nugget rock, that was crazy. So if she puts him through a table or I don't know, she just goes ham on him, like, I'm all for it. So if Jordana Grace wins, I hope she also beats the hell out of Johnny Bravo. And I dig his beating. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is, but I just like to see that guy get beat up, and it's kind of crazy. But
me too. Makes me giggle, makes me smile. I just think, keep beating him. Throw him from a chair or something, or throw him from a table or something. That'll make it so much more fun for me to laugh at.
Yeah, and then the crazy part is, like, he's never really, like, I've never really seen him do any like heelish tactics to like, he hasn't done nothing that bad that people want to see him get beat up, but he's there, and it's like, yeah, just up his butt. You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
so
it's like when everybody wanted to see Dangerous Danny Davis, get beat up. And I mean, to quote a video game here, Mr. Sheffro, it's kind of like you want NBA ballers here. You want to see Jordan Grace dunking the pumpkin. That is Johnny Bravo.
dude, what a reference right there. That's insane. See, this is why I tell people all the time. Like, it's funny, and I unfortunately in every show I do, it goes off tilt somewhere. But I could throw a reference out in any chat, and I recently did one. I don't remember. It was like an old movie, and I said, when you're cool, the sun shines on you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And then I wrote something like, if you could call it, let me know. And he came back and called it in like, I don't know, like 3 minutes or something like that, less than that. And that movie was before he was born, and it frustrated me because I was like, yo, Larkin, you can't know every song I like. You can't know every movie I like. And he does. So
He does.
it's like, it's really like he's got like a chip implanted in my brain, and we work on the same wavelength. It's so weird. It's so, I love Larkin to death. You have no idea. We'll jump into Kylie Ray versus Kiara Hogan.
Andre, what? Go.
Well,
Pump the brakes. Yeah.
Hold
I
on, what
just want to
happened?
add some color, ladies and gentlemen. And when it pertains and relates to Johnny Bravo, outside of him being a referee for so long, I didn't really see the type of talent, the level of talent that this man has, not only in terms of psychology, in terms of heelish skills. Johnny Bravo has been a diamond in the rough over the last year. I'm very, very impressed with the work he's doing.
Agreed.
Oh yeah. That's why that's what I was saying. Like with the whole ref thing and everything, like people think, oh, that's just a ref. But if you watch his body language and everything else, Johnny Bravo, he escalates Taya with her, even just holding a dog and the way he does things.
I was about to say that. About the dog. Him holding the dog and wearing the earmuffs.
I'm telling you, like, he knows what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? And there's a difference between, like, if you just stuck a referee and put him in that position, he might know how to take a bump, but there's a way that, listen, the great ones know how to work a crowd. The great ones know how to do something stupid and get it over. And he has that vibe, and he has that attention to detail where he knows how to work a crowd. And a lot of people go, oh, he's just some whack ref, blah, 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 blah. Well, yeah, he makes you think that way, and he's doing his job. That's what a lot of people don't understand. The technique of actually wrestling is all character. You know what I mean? Like, it's more character than in ring for a lot of people, because that's how you get yourself over, is how you work a crowd. And Johnny Bravo is
swing in the gut check, how serious he is, how skilled he is, and whatnot. If you haven't had the chance, fans tuning in and listening, check out the gut check, the recent installation, and you'll see a different side of Johnny Bravo.
Yeah. Listen, we just went from acting like he's some jobber, sidekick, and now we're like, this guy is the man, like people go, what just happened here? So next one, and I'm gonna start with Andre, then we'll go to the Demoness, and then we'll go to Mike. We have Kiara Hogan and Kylie Ray, and actually, let me just throw a little something out there. I wasn't a big fan of Kiara Hogan, and I know that she's been there for a while, but from seeing Kiara Hogan first coming into right now, she's on another level. And I think that she has came up a lot faster than I thought. And Kiara Hogan is someone who continues to grow, and I can see her as a future champ. So on that, I won't say nothing else after Mike, but I'm going to go with Andre, Demoness, and then we'll go with the champ, Mike Larkin, after that. So, boss, what you got of Kiara Hogan and a new and exciting Kyrie Irving, holy crap, Kylie Ray.
Well, as a guy that's had his hand at booking in the business, seeing how the shows are put together, and having an idea of the backside of the industry, I can clearly tell that Kiera Hogan is in super push mode. Outside of the Knockouts champion, this is the #2 woman in terms of booking right now in Impact Wrestling, and I feel bad for Kylie Ray. The fans, they really, really like this talent. They like this superstar, and they want to cheer her on. She's new in the company and whatnot, and I'd like to see Kylie Ray go over here at Rebellion, but I just don't see it when I factor in the momentum that Kiera Hogan has, not only from Impact Wrestling booking, but like you said, Chef, the time she's put in and the level that she's currently at. So Kiera Hogan goes over here at Impact Wrestling Rebellion.
Go ahead, Demoness.
We are liking Kiera Hogan. We have always liked her. She is turned from when she first came in to what she is now, total different person. That woman is badass. She will literally put you through every table. She's just grown in strength more and more. And every time I see her come out, she just seems stronger in the ring. That she owns the ring. That's what I love about her. So I'd say the same as pretty much what Andre said, which I'd love to see Kylie Ray go over, but I can see Kiera Hogan winning it.
I think for me, you have the debuting Smiley Kylie Ray. We've seen her work in AEW. She's done some work in Japan and Rise. Then you got Kiera Hogan, who's done some work in Shine, trained by Mr. Hughes. And it's actually kind of funny because, this is her debut, Kylie Ray. And if you remember Taya Valkyrie and Kiera Hogan from Redemption in 2018, that was her debut on pay-per-view, Kiera Hogan. So it's kind of awesome to see her in kind of like this different, scenario, being the debut opponent for Kylie Ray going into Rebellion. But I think it's cool. I mean, you got Kiera Hogan. Both ladies are beautiful. Like I said, I'm all about that beauty, strength, and dominance. You got Kiera Hogan, who's made a name for herself, whether she was with Allie, whether she's, doing her thing with Madison Rayne, whether she's just being the girl on fire, and she's like Bubba Sparks in the Yin Yang Twins, booty, 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 rocking everywhere. We have two amazing talents and amazing athletes, but in this particular scenario, gotta go with Kylie Ray. Smiley Kylie Ray, and her debut is Rebellion. Kylie Ray all the way.
Okay, so here's my thing. If let's just hypothetically say that Kiera Hogan goes over, and I wanted to put this on Andre because a lot of people don't understand how deep his insight was on that. What is next? Do you think comes for Kiera Hogan if she goes over? What's her next? What's the next move?
If I was in Impact Wrestling booking,
yes, sir,
I would put a faction around Kiera Hogan to stall her title reign coming. I'm not sure when they're going to pull the trigger and put the title on her. I truly do think that Jordan Grace deserves a little bit of a run with the title. But in terms of the next champion, if they don't put it back on Taya Valkyrie, I truly do think that it's Kiera Hogan that's going to get the title. But I think they need to give Jordy a little bit of a run here. So I would stall it all, and I would put two women beside Kiera. I guess you can say already that Madison Rayne factors in there and whatnot. Like a true faction, just to stall it, keep her important, keep her relevant. She could be the leader until they're ready to pull the trigger and put the title around her.
That's freaking beautiful. Like the more I'm thinking about it, I was like, oh, that's freaking. So you know what? Because that's phenomenal stuff right there. I'm gonna leave it on you two. Each pick one female. If you got to put two females there, one female each that you would put around Kiera Hogan to start this faction and keep her super relevant, like Andre said. Well, let's start with the Demoness. One female that you think should be under or in her faction, and then you'll finish it off.
Okay. If they were using Rosemary Wright, then I'd have her back there again with Kiera like they was before, like briefly when it was the whole Undead World and Ali and them. But I'd have her there. But then as I don't know exactly what's going on with her right now, then it'd have to be Madison Rayne, only because they're doing that team stuff together already. So Madison Rayne probably, or Rosemary, one of the two.
I think for me, Madison Rayne, because like Nicola said, what's going on with what they're currently doing. Another one, just because I want to see her as a heel, and she's done a lot of great heel work in the past, Tennille Dashwood.
Wow, that's a good one.
That is a
Larkin,
good one.
why do you do that, Larkin? Like, I swear, I hate when you're so on point with stuff all the time. Like, it's annoying.
Well, I'm just saying, if people want to watch her heel run from WWE, not the one with the hands going in the bubble, she was great alongside. She did some stuff with Dana Brooke. She did some good heel work. I mean, her match with Asuka, but yeah, she could be a good heel.
You know, Larkin, I would choke you if you were next to me right now. You just, you know what? I'm done with you. We're going to,
that's it. That's what you're going to do. You're going to channel your Red Hook on me there, Chef. You're just going to make me just another victim. You know what I'm saying? I see what
Hey, I'm the only one who takes victims in this little group.
Okay.
Barring you, Mike, obviously, because, you know, you're still the number one.
Thank you.
For now.
Sparing my soul.
Of course.
So now we have Ace Austin, Willie Mack, X Division Championship, and I'm definitely going to start with Mike, go to Andre. Then we'll have the Demoness finish it off. Ace Austin, Willie Mack, X Division Championship. Go ahead, Mr. Larkin.
Oh, there's going to be a lot of pop culture references here, but I'm going to have fun with this match. We got Ace Austin, Mr. I just banged your mom, the scumbag, as Don Callis would say. We got Ace Austin, he's from Ohio, but I think he took a trip down to Waco, Texas. I like the way you kiss me when we're playing the kissing game, little high five action. He thinks he's like Sade, he's like a smooth operator, and he's got him singing, my, you sure look good tonight, Johnny Gill style, but I digress. So you got Ace Austin, and he got his whole situation there with Reno Scum, and then, they have him attack Rich Swann, going after Chocolate Thunder, Willie Mack, Return to the Mac, Mark Morrison style. For me, I think it's a great match. You got the high-flying Ace Austin, you got the agility and the overall ability and the size of Chocolate Thunder that is Willie Mack. Me, I'm intrigued. I have enjoyed the storyline going into it, tagging with him when he was taking on Glenn Gilberti and Johnny Swinger, an old NYC reunion there from back in the day. But for me, I'm looking forward to seeing how these two have that dynamic. But in all honesty, I think Willie Mack is going to be X Division champion in the future. But I think it's just a way for Rich Swann when he comes back to go after Ace Austin and get his revenge from the attack by Reno Scum. But in this scenario, I'm going to go with Ace Austin and his purple hair and his gauges to retain the X Division championship.
Now, as it pertains or relates to the X Division Championship title match, it's a one-on-one contest between Ace Austin and Willie Mack. But I think the underlay here are three other gentlemen. Now we have Reno Scum, who've been the henchman of your Triple X Division champion. And speaking of that title, you can check out on this very channel the X Division title review with yours truly, breaking down a close-up look of that beautiful red and silver championship title. But I'm going off on a tangent here. Back to the title match. Ace Austin, is he going to have a Reno Scum factor into him retaining the match here? Or are we going to have the injured Rich Swann make an appearance and either cost Willie Mack the championship title or help him win the title? I'm a little undecided at this point right now, but I think Willie Mack is going to become your new X Division champion. Ace Austin's had a real good, lengthy title reign.
You're up, Chef.
It's on you, Demoness.
Oh, okay. Sorry. My bad. Someone started drilling in the background. Apologies for that. Rude neighbours when I'm doing something. I'd love... Well, we all know I am not Ace Austin's biggest fan. I never have been, but I also know that he's obviously playing a character. So, and I know in reality he's actually quite down to earth. But at the same point, I think that Willie Mack should just literally drag him around the ring and just bounce him off of every post possible, or bring in a chair or some more vicious violence. But I actually agree with Andre with is Rich Swann going to appear, or is Reno Scum going to get involved? Is there going to be something going on in the background? So I'm looking forward to seeing that, but I do want to see Ace Austin buried. So yeah, that's my opinion on that one.
Now, I gotta say it like this, ladies and gentlemen, thugs and divas. If you listen to the education you just got on the three of them, what do I say after that? You know what I'm saying? So I'm just gonna go to the next match because anything I say after that is not gonna sound anywhere as close to as awesome, as violent, as educated as what you already heard. So I don't want to look like the dummy left out. In the words of Eli Drake, dummy, yeah. I don't want to be that guy. So I'm gonna go to the next. Yeah, yeah. You know, yeah.
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 Let me talk to you.
Dude, I miss that guy. You have no idea.
I missed the button. I missed that button just walking past someone. Dummy. Yeah.
You know, and you know what? Now I got to do it. I got to say something else. And I hate when I do this and I go off tilt. But I've had the opportunity to talk to, how about to say Eric Young? Jesus. I just forgot his name. Eli Drake. I just, and I've talked to him a bunch of times. His voice is always like that. Like he's always like his tone and the whole, yeah, like the way he kind of everything, he talks like that all the time, and it's mad funny. And I've seen him, mess with a few waiters and stuff like that. And it was absolute hilarious, because you had fans around and everything else. Eli Drake, I'm gonna tell you now, there's not many people in this industry that I would put a microphone on to say, go ahead, I dare you to go against him, because he'll eat people alive. Eli Drake, that's a champ's champ right there. Love some Eli Drake. But in the words of Andre Corbiel, I digress. Had to do it. I had to do it. Like, I've been waiting to be on the show with him to do that for I don't know, probably 4 years. But
Has it been that long?
huh?
Has it been that long?
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's been a while. I think so. It might be even longer, but I waited my opportunity. I was like, yo, one day, and this is true. I said, one day when I do something with Andre Corbiel, we're gonna talk, and I'm just gonna be like, I digress. I don't know why. I just it's just something I said I had to do, and it was a perfect opportunity. But now this match. This is the one I'm interested in, because I pretty much like every single competitor in this match, and I think it's gonna be phenomenal. Chris Bay, who I think is going to be a superstar in Impact, Suicide, Trey Miguel, and Rohit Raju, excuse me, which I like all four guys in this match. I'm going to start with Mike, go to Andre, we'll finish with the Demoness, and then I'll say my little piece on it. Hopefully you guys don't kill it like you do, and I can actually throw my 2 pennies in the hat. So, Mike, what you got, brother?
So we got the ultimate finesser, Chris Bay, out of Future Stars of Wrestling. Had a lot of great matches with Killer Cross. Before he even got signed to Impact, he did some work on 205 Live. He did some work on Impact before he got signed. He did a little something in Ring of Honor. He's the ultimate finesser, dripping in finesse. It don't make no sense, Bruno Mars style. Then you got the Fresh Prince of Midair, Trey Miguel. Then you got Rohit Raju of the Desi Hit Squad. And you got Suicide Come Alive. For me, I think you're going to get a lot of high-octane aerial assault in this matchup, but since they are pushing him and he's on the come-up, as someone I know would say, I'm going to go with the ultimate finesser that is Chris Bay to get the victory in this Fatal 4-Way Exhibition Championship. It's one I'm personally looking forward to, so my winner is the ultimate finesser himself, Mr. Chris Bay.
Speechless. It's on you, Andre.
It's on me. All right. I agree with a lot of what Mike just said, especially when it pertains and relates to Chris Bay. I truly believe he's going to have quite the push for a little while, and I'm glad he chose Impact Wrestling over All Elite Wrestling. It's no secret that Chris Bay would indeed be an AEW if it wasn't for signing with Impact Wrestling. Suicide, Trey Miguel, Rohit Raju are the other combatants in this 4-way match. We have something unique here. Suicide. Who is playing Suicide? Now, whether it be TJP or it be another particular member within the threesome, the Rascals, I think, I think Chris Bay's gonna go over here. I'm trying to juggle it in my head, gentlemen. I don't see Rohit going over. Trey Miguel could go over here, but he doesn't factor in like Chris Bay does right now. Yeah, I'm going to stick with Chris Bay. Little bit of uncertainty from myself there, but yeah, Chris Bay goes over here.
So hold on, Demoness, before you go in, I want to ask Andre, because he also said something that I'm intrigued. Who do you think Suicide is right now?
I think he's Wentz.
Really?
Yeah, I think Wentz is Suicide.
Wow. Okay. Because his body is different than TJP's. So I was like, I wonder who it is. But obviously, when you said, I was like, I gotta ask.
The first giveaway to me, Chef, was when he puts the gun to his head. It doesn't look at all like TJP's motions did. So that was the first hint to me that, hey, this isn't TJ.
Yeah, he does that, doesn't he?
Well, that makes sense. That you see, this is why I wanted these guys. I have to have these guys because I love when you can ask questions. You don't just get like a basic response. You get something in depth and it makes a lot of sense. So no, that's an amazing pick. And Demon S, please, in this fatal 4-way, who you got? What are you excited for? Is there somebody you just want to see get thugged out because you've been on a reign of violence and mayhem? So I'm just curious on what do you have for this 4-way?
I like violence and destruction, as we all know. But I really, like you saying about Suicide, I was confused about that, and I still am. It's great to see him back, whoever it is. But yeah, you're right. TJ Perkins has a different, like Andre said, with a gun sign. It's very different from what TJ Perkins was. But Trey, I want to see him because he was obviously against the annoying Austin Aries. Blooming hell, sorry, wrong character, my bad. Yeah, but I want to see Trey because he was working really hard to go again to get the X Division, and then it kind of got swept away. So it's like, yeah, I want to see him do something. Or Suicide or him. One of the two.
Okay.
The other two are, because obviously Suicide's a bit crazy like my persona, so that helps. So yeah. But Trey, either one of them two, I don't mind. But they're both everyone in that ring's really talented. So it's going to be fun to watch. Loads of brutality. So you can guarantee I'll be screaming in my in hell at my TV.
I would just like to
Demon
say,
S.
hold on, I don't mean to cut you off, guys, but I just wanted to say, to add to her path of destruction and violence, I think the Demoness is really wanting to see a lot of people, dare I say, get mollywopped, and that's all I'm going to say about that. Go ahead.
He's not wrong.
Oh man, that's a crazy one.
Mike, I'm going to say this. Dave is in the background, and even he's laughing his head off at all of us talking. So, yeah, you made him giggle as well then.
Hey, you're welcome. My mission is complete. Go ahead.
All right, so you have a Chris Bay shout out, you got a Suicide shout out, and a Trey Miguel. That leaves me with Rohit Raju. So I'm going to go with him just because everybody else picked everybody else. And I think listen, why not? And I think he's going to finally bring some much needed gold to the Desi Hit Squad. And the rest of these guys, they're not on his level. And then you could joke at me, you can laugh at me, you can hit the comments and tell me I'm a bird brain or whatever else you want to call. Still don't matter. It doesn't matter what you think. So I'm going to say Rohit brings the first championship gold over. He becomes the greatest member of Desi Hit Squad history, maybe one day solidifying himself in Impact Wrestling Hall of Fame after this. So I'm excited for the future of Rohit Raju, the Great. Does anyone agree?
Oh, yeah. I mean, with what he's been doing with Gama the whole night, I've been enjoying.
No. Oh, okay, I'm going to say in Demon S voice. No.
You know what? Hey, listen, that's what it's for. It's not supposed to like everything we all do. Here's the crazy part. Huh?
The thing regarding Rohit Raju in Impact Wrestling is if fans tuning in have had the chance to catch Rohit's work elsewhere, like AAW in Chicago, there Rohit actually has his pedal to the metal. Impact Wrestling has not let him put the pedal to the metal at this point. And I could say the same thing for Raj. I know Raj works the home promotion here for us. So both these members haven't had the chance to shine on the level that they actually can, including the stick as well. Rohit is great on the stick, and so is Raj as well. So you could be onto something there, Chef. I truly think that we haven't seen, as Impact Wrestling fans in the company, the full pedal to the metal from Rohit Raju yet. So you could be onto something, bro.
You see, now I feel like I just said the most wisest thing ever. And I don't want none of you guys, listen, none of you guys talk after that, because what Andre said is right. So we're going to jump right into the next match, because I don't want them to ruin anything. And it's going to be Ohio versus everything. Dave Chris, Jay Chris, and the Madman Fulton versus Tommy Dreamer, Rhino, and a mystery, partner. And I'm going to start with Andre, Nicola, and then we'll have Mike, because Mike seems to be going ham with these crazy references, and I really want to go after him because he's making me laugh. So, Andre, you started off, brother.
All right. Well, this match basically features ECW legends, Tommy Dreamer, Rhino. Who is this mystery partner going to be? Is it going to be one of the WWE releases? I don't think so, but I digress. Now we have OVE, who have been on a little bit of a losing streak as of late, and some fans have been pretty vocal online as it pertains and relates to OVE. Better not lose this match, yada, 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 yada. Now, it's a split in terms of the fan base, because some of these fans always have that undying love for ECW wrestling. And we have two legends, literally legends here. Be a mystery who comes in. I don't know. I'll ask each and every one of you guys who you think is coming in to join Tommy Dreamer and Rhino. I honestly think OVE is going to lose again, and some of the fans are going to be very upset, but it is what it is. They have the ace in the hole, right? When you have a mystery partner going into a match, the other team can't prepare for that. So I think that's an ultimate advantage in the end, and I think it's going to be enough of an advantage for Tommy Dreamer, Rhino, and this mystery partner to go over on OVE here at Rebellion.
Go ahead, Nicola.
I think the mystery guest, and I'm only saying this because he always seems to appear whenever Rhino does, or if say, I think it's Sabu that's going to come in as a mystery guest.
Aha.
Or, or I'm not saying that out loud. No, sorry. Yeah, Sabu seems to be, because
No.
other half.
I want you. No. I want you to say whatever he said out loud.
Do you want to hear him say it instead?
You know what?
That'd
Bring
be
him on.
easier.
Bring him on. Listen, I'm tired. He needs his debut. He needs a debut. Bring him on.
Bring him on, right, Dave? You got to talk. Say what you said.
For the old school wrestlers, it could be Kurt Angle. You never know.
You know what? Welcome, Dave. I'm not even mad at that, Dave, but welcome home, brother.
Cheers, mate.
There you go. He says Kurt Angle, but
Oh no, it's just on the off chance, isn't it? You know?
on the off chance. But I still say Sabu's going to be in the. I still think it's going to be him, but overall, I think that OVE are going to stick to their losing streak right now. Even though I do like OVE and am fans, they seem to be at the minute constantly on the losing side. So, but I love Tommy Dreamer, and I obviously love Rhino. So yeah, them three, or obviously them. Them two will win and OVE will lose. And yeah, thanks for letting Dave say hello as well. So yeah.
So I think on my end, I'm going to go a little different here, because like we mentioned, they've been on the losing streak, and a lot of fans have been crying like Kevin Hart and Seriously Funny, that old, comedy sketch there. Oh my God, no, he wasn't ready. The whole night there from that sketch, but I digress. So we see a lot of talents like OVE. We got Dave Chris, Jake Chris, and Madman Fulton, former Sawyer Fulton and Sanity there back in the Diz A. And then we have Tommy Dreamer, Rhino, and I think the mystery partner is going to be either Sabu or Raven, just so I could say this will be the end of everything, his old WWE theme sung by Neurotica. But for me, I'm intrigued just to see where it goes. It's a nice brawl. It's a nice little, plunder action there. Either way, I think we're in for a treat, but I'm going to go the different route and say that OVE finally gets the win. Finally, like CC Peniston, it's happened to them right in front of their faces. I am going with OVE to win in this 6-man tag team matchup. And I'm going to say it's going to be either Sabu or Raven to be Tommy Dreamer and Rhino's mystery partner.
I love what you're thinking, but I'm going to tell you now, I don't care what ECW dinosaur they bring back. At this point, I don't mind if I don't see them again. So it's Ohio versus everything. I've never even been an OVE fan, but I'm an OVE fan in this situation because, yes, these guys are legends. Yes, I get that. I do have a thing with, I think, guys that I personally feel, and I'm definitely, listen, I'm one of those people that could easily be wrong, and it's fine. But I feel like these old guys take a spot away from some of these younger guys, like the Desmond Xaviers and everybody else that I'm a fan of in Impact, because I believe they have a really young roster, and I would like to see them more. So I would love for Ohio versus everything, OVE. I want to see Madman Fulton, Sawyer Fulton, just that big-ass dude with the dreads. I just want to see him go absolutely bonkers, taking these ECWs guys out. And I would love, for some reason, I don't know where they're going to get it, I would love for them kind of trying to take a page from like the LAX kind of vibe. Just devastate these three guys, take them out, and just drop like ECW flags over their carcasses, just like signify it's over. No more ECW. They buried them. I would enjoy that, but that's just my ignorance. So I'm going with OVE to absolutely annihilate Tommy Dreamer, Rhino, and whatever ECW dinosaur they bring in. That's just my opinion.
I think that would be the right move, Chef. I'm not so certain that that's going to happen because of the losing streak. Demon S, you had me going. I'm like, it's got to be Sabu. It's got to be Sabu. And then I thought about it. Mike brought it up. Raven. Then I thought about it. He was at the last tapings. It'll probably be Raven. And if it's not Raven, it's definitely going to be Sabu. But yeah, I don't know. I would really like to see what Chef brought up, that ECW flag draped over. I think that would be a statement and a half. But I'm just not so sure it's going to happen.
We can only hope, brother. We can only listen. There's very few things we can control, and we can just hope they understand greatness. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
At least it's not predictable, right? We're all presenting different answers within this pay-per-view, Rebellion, and it's nice when it's not so predictable.
Exactly. That's the fun part. It's anyone could be right. I listen. I do think that Impact has done a really good job of not making it so predictable, because there are shows where you go into them and you're like, everyone who's going to win, and you're like, all right, cool, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? So this seems like a really good card so far. And now the one match that I did not write, because hold
on, Chef, I don't mean to cut you off, but I just
brother, please.
I would just like to add what you said about OVE, because it's been killing me. Listening to you analyze, dissect, and decipher that matchup, I got to say this to you, Chef Ro. You kind of channeled your inner Denzel Washington as Alonzo in Training Day. You want to see OVE put a case on all these bitches. Is that what you're saying to me, Chef?
He's taken a leaf out of our book. That's what he's doing. He's beginning to think like my crazy mind thinks, and we all know that's not a safe idea. No.
It's so wild. This is why I tell you, and maybe I can only work with Larkin in increments, because it's like he knows what to say to like make me laugh or to trigger me to be a little more ignorant. Larkin is like he's kind of like the good angel and the bad angel. Like, but like in wrestling, he'd be like the heel and the face angel. You know what I mean? Like, he's a wild dude. I swear, I love working with Larkin. He's so fun to work with. But
he is.
We gotta get somebody out there. We gotta get somebody out there to make a GIF of the two little Larkins sitting on each shoulder.
You know what? I gotta hit up. I got a guy who does some pretty cool work. And that's my guy Saber Bitch. I'm gonna hit him up as soon as I'm done with this. I'm like, look, bro, whatever you need from images or whatever, I got you, because I think that'd be hilarious.
Hey, hold
I
on
would
there.
mark up that. I would mark up.
Hold on there, Mr. Tupac Shakur. You're gonna hit him up over there, so do your thing. Go ahead, Chef.
Wait, oh, listen. I'm retired, brother. I'm gaining weight. I'm living in Florida. I'm enjoying the slow pace, brother. I am so relaxed and yo, dude, I have a wine cooler now. Not a wine cooler, but yeah, it's like a freezer, right? You open it up. It's got the metal little racks, and I got wine in there. There's no more 40s. There's like the Hypnotic and the Alizé and Patron once in a blue that happens. But I'm more on my whites and reds now. I really love wine, and I'm slowing down out here, bro. Like a few months ago, I was in a wine walk. Can you imagine me from the hood in a wine walk?
Hey, man, if you're all about that nice Alizé asking how do you want it, you do your thing, sir. You're allowed.
And
Love it.
why does that Florida comment make me think of the Kings of New York? You guys got fat. Now it's my turn.
It's crazy.
Florida, get fat. You guys got fat. Now it's my turn.
It's crazy. It's so wild. But I love doing these, and like I said, when things go off tilt, sometimes it's just fun. This is what podcasting is: people having fun. But now I know that the main event might not happen, but I got to talk about it because Eddie Edwards involved, and for years, and he knows it. I know the dude. I used to yell out anybody but enemy, anybody but Eddie, all through his match. I mean, the staff and ring crew and everything would laugh in the back. Like I said, I've had these conversations. They could tell you that. Eddie Edwards is a super talented guy, and he's one of the nicest people I've ever met in this industry. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. I heckled that guy night in, night out for days in a row. And this guy knew who my son was. He would always take pictures. My youngest loved Eddie Edwards. He would be right next to me. He could have made up any excuse. He always did it. He's one of the most amazing guys I've ever met in the industry. I love to heckle him. But Eddie Edwards has grown on me of late. And for some reason, I've literally become a fan. And I'm like, what the hell happened, to the point where people are like, yo, dude, for years, you were anti-Eddie Edwards. I blocked you for the Eddie Edwards stuff and all this other craziness. So you have Eddie Edwards, Michael Elgin versus the current champion, Tessa Blanchard. I want to take on it. I really don't even care if it happens or not. I just want to say it does, because I think this is a great match. So I really want to go over this one. I'm going to start with the Demoness, because the current champion is a woman, as we know, and we should do a woman's first. So it'll be the Demoness. We'll go to Andre the Legend, and then Mike Larkin, the hip-hop guru over there who's just referencing everything. Demoness, can you please start on Elgin, Eddie, and Tessa?
I'm loving the whole Mike Elgin and Eddie Edwards fights, because they've been doing it for quite a lot now. And yes, Rafe. Sorry, my son was asking me something quietly. I think that I love the dynamic between the two of them. But right now, obviously, Tessa's champ, so she's champ. So I want to see. I still want her to retain her title for a little while, but also I'm beginning to get to the point where I want it to see it swapped to someone else. So I'm in two minds with that. I love Tessa. I think she's amazing and she's a brilliant champ, and she's doing everything she can. But at the same point, yeah, Eddie Edwards, I love to pieces. Always have been a fan of his, even though I prefer what he's doing now to what he was before, because, you put that stick in his hand and he's some crazy ass mofo. So, yeah, give anyone a stick, they turn crazy, don't they? So, yeah, but I'm looking forward to that match, but I do see Tessa coming out top again.
Now, I agree with a lot of what the Demoness just said there in terms of what Tess has done and the title reign up to this point, but Andre Corbeil doesn't possess the popular opinion of the wrestling fan base out there. I, for one, would like to see this title reign end. I think it's great they put the title around Tessa. I think it'll go down in history. It's been a reasonably okay title reign, but in my opinion, I think it's been rather empty. And you factor in the names in this world title match, if it does indeed come to pass. You get the champion, Tessa Blanchard. You get the challengers, Eddie Edwards, Michael Elgin. I go over that Impact Wrestling roster, and outside Moose, Michael Elgin is a natural fit as Impact Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion. Not only would he bring a credibility to that championship title, not only would he be able to defend it around the world with pride, he's a Canadian, and I'm all for a Canadian Impact Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion. So I'd like the title reign to end, and Michael Elgin is the frickin' man. Ever since he's come into Impact Wrestling after leaving New Japan Pro Wrestling, I think he's been booked perfectly. Now he's lost a couple times, but amidst the few losses that Michael Elgin has sustained, he stayed strong, and Impact Wrestling booking have kept him looking strong to this point. So I think he's the, as Eli Drake would say, the undeniable Kevorkian. I almost screwed that up, but I digress. Michael Elgin, if this match happens, I think he's going to be the next Impact Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion.
While the Demoness over here likes the way that Eddie Edwards rocks the microphone, it takes two, raw bass, easy rock. I digress.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah.
Careful, you. Take your fault.
So,
And the reason why I didn't touch base that much when it pertains to Eddie Edwards is he's already a Grand Slam champion. He's super decorated, and he'll go down in history as one of the most decorated in Impact Wrestling. But there.
okay, so what's interesting is, and Andre, you brought up a lot of valid points there. You know, we got Tessa Blanchard, we got Michael Elgin, Eddie Edwards. For me, one of my scenarios was that Tessa somehow pins Eddie Edwards due to the dynamic with Elgin and Edwards, and then Michael Elgin goes into Slammiversary and wins it because last year he lost to Brian Cage. But I also look at this being Rebellion. This is where Michael Elgin made his debut, and what a one-year culmination that would be to win the World Heavyweight Championship. So I'm in two minds, you know, in retrospect with that. But for me, I think it is his time, and I'm going to go with the latter and say that Michael Elgin wins the World Heavyweight title in his 1 year in Impact Wrestling. I think it's about that time for Big Mike to win the Impact Championship. Big Mike!
Big Mike!
Big Mike! You had to throw that in there, Mike. All right. So I'm glad you guys left me with Eddie Edwards, because that was my pick. And I was like, oh, man, after what Andre said, it might sway Mike's vote. But listen, I got no problem. You guys are 100%. I think that Michael Elgin has been booked perfectly. I think he's an amazing, amazing wrestler. And easily he should be the next champ. But that would not be me if I say that. So we're going to go with Eddie Edwards. He's the last of the dying breed of the Impact Zone. He's our product. And I stick to what I am. I love the Impact Zone. I'm from the Impact Zone. I bleed the Impact Zone. And he's our product. So I'm going to go with Eddie Edwards pinning anybody but Tessa, because like I had before, the anybody but Eddie, it's going to be anybody but Tessa. I don't like Tessa as champ, and it's not because she's a woman, so calm down, all you people. Take your panties out of a bunch, because I have no problem with a woman being a champion. I just think it was the wrong one. Like, I have to say it like that, because when you had somebody who can arguably consider the greatest woman wrestler of all time in Gail Kim, and I don't care what anyone says, they never even put her in a position to be that direction, and she is Impact Wrestling. Yeah, she was in WWF, WWE, whatever you want to say, but Gail Kim is always going to be my favorite and fan favorite and legends of TNA Impact Wrestling. If it would have been somebody like a China type or Awesome Kong or somebody bigger, who can actually look like they could fight against a man, I would be 100% behind Jordan Grace. Yeah, she's got guns, that woman. I mean, you had her
She looks
with
like a rhino.
exactly. So it's like it's more believable where Tessa's, if she would have ran through the X division, I'd be okay with it. But it is what it is. But I would love to see Eddie get one more run. I just feel that he's obviously, listen, like you said, he's a Grand Slam champion. But I do feel that if you need a transition champ, even if it's for a short little stint until you do whatever you do, you get everything on point. I'm just biased at this point, and I'm trying to sell it. But I really want to see Eddie Edwards come out on top at a big pay-per-view at least one more time. Just from my personal, biasness of the Impact Zone. So I'm going to go with Eddie Edwards. And I just actually, if it's anybody but Tessa, I'm happy. But everybody picks somebody, so I got to pick somebody. So it's going to be Eddie Edwards, the one of the greatest champions in Impact history. I really believe that. So,
well, last thing I
had there, Chef. Any of y'all out there feel like we were just tried, like Chef just tried to coerce us?
Well, I got to say this. I mean, I agree with, the size and the stature that is Jordan Grace in that role, but I've learned something now about my good friend Chef, because Chef, as we know, Queens is your city and you rep your city, but not only do you rep your city, Chef, you rep your zone. You rep the IZ, the Impact Zone. Is that what you're saying right here, baby?
All day, every day, baby. You know what it is. Queens is where I'm from, is born and raised. Listen, I say this all the time. This is what he does. He gets me all amped up. When you start saying certain things, it triggers me, right? So I always say it's QU to the day of my death. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a Queens born and raised guy. I love my city. I love my borough. I am what I am. I is what it is. But Mike, you got to stop this. We're trying to keep this calm down at a certain decibel. And you like to feed the animal is what you like doing. You like to amp me up during these shows. And
hey, you were born hyped. Just stay hyped. You're okay. You go with your energy. You let it flow like in Vogue. You go, sir.
Oh man,
you're from Queens.
Yeah, I'm just naturally loud. You know what I mean? Like, I'm from the home.
You've been getting fat in Florida. It's my turn.
It is. I mean, like I said, listen, this is, and I was talking to Andre recently ago, right? And I had told him, I said, I kind of fell off with these. I kind of lost that fun. And if you hear my tone now, you can understand the fun that I'm having back doing this. I have great people I'm working with. Obviously, you hear the three that I'm worth. You can understand a vibe that we have. And this is what makes this fun. This is why when you're stuck home and we ask you to stay home and just let us entertain you, understand how much fun we're having. We're just, listen, this is what we do. We're having some good times. We're having some laughs. We got people from all over the world. And it's the beauty of this is we have different directions of what we feel. We have different vibes. We have different tones, different upbringings and everything else. And we're bringing to you a product of wrestling where it's not a yes show. We disagree, we agree, we have some fun, we make some jokes. And this is the best part about this. And on the way out, I'm going to ask everybody here. I'm going to start with, listen, unfortunately, I love the Demoness. It's my sister. That's what she is. I got Mike Larkin. He's my brother. But when you have a legend, and I know, listen, I'm not hyping this guy up to hype him up. I don't do that. But when you got what this guy is, Andre, please plug everything. And then I'm going to definitely go last. So, Andre, plug all your stuff. Let them know. We'll go with Mike after that. And Demon S, please plug yourself. No need to be humble after that. Guys, do it. And then I'll finish off with a quick little something.
Well, first off, I'd like to thank each and every one of you wrestling fans tuning in worldwide for spending the time and hanging out with us for these Rebellion predictions. And I think a lot of wrestling fans can take a lesson from this podcast. Many different opinions. Nobody tried to force their opinions. Everybody accepted each other's opinions, and each other's opinions were all different from one another. There was no beef. There was no mojo, none of that crap at all. Respecting each other's opinion, no matter how they differ. Enjoying the product. And that's what this is all about. Now you can tune in for tons of podcasts superstar interviews at wrestling.com. You can check out the Jokers Club podcast. You can check out On the Mic with Mike Larkin. You can check out the LFC podcast. You can check out the WWE Weekly podcast with Jacob Grandi, the NWA Weekly podcast with Jacob Grandi. You can check out the Casual Fan podcast with my homeboys from my hometown, featuring Cheza Miller each and every week. You can check out the Max Wrestling podcast. And geez, am I forgetting anybody?
A wrestling gal with LJ.
Pardon me?
A wrestling gal with LJ.
Our latest podcast, a Wrestling Gal podcast, and tons more coming. I'm working on getting more on the channel right now. It's just like a big cluster right now. We're growing the network. We're creating a family. We're creating a community. And like I said, it's not a brash community where everybody's trying to get their last word in. It's everybody just enjoying the product. And it's a lot more enjoyable if it's presented in this manner. No attitude, no ego, so on and so forth. But I'm rambling on. What else do you want me to plug here, Chef?
Your Twitter, plug your Twitter. I really want them to know. I want them to follow you so they can understand the professional side. They can understand the knowledge. Like I said, the stuff that you kick out, the way you bring things up, and it's from a base of you worked in this industry. You still work in this industry. You create in this industry. You pick the brains of legends. I mean, didn't you just have like Eric Young on too recently?
I've interviewed probably 220 superstars at this point. Honestly, at the cadence that Mike Larkin pushes out product, I bet you he's interviewed more stars than me at this point.
Well, we're both even. I'm not going to say that I'm outdoing you, man, because you do a lot of great stuff too. So we're both even. Even Steven. That's how we roll.
And see, that's why we fam wrestling fans tuning in worldwide. There's no ego. We do this because we love this. We do this because we're passionate about this. You can follow me on Twitter at Wrestling with W3. You can follow me on Facebook at Andre Corbeil. Andre Corbeil on YouTube. Also have the backup channel, Wrestling with Wrestling on YouTube. And of course, the mothership, WrestlingWithWrestling.com. I'm a knowledgeable, passionate WrestlingWithWrestling.com reporter trained by the legendary Bill Apter, the controversial Vince Russo, and the iconic Hart family. And I'm going to keep doing this. Tried, tested, and true for each and every one of you because we're all in this for one thing. And what's that, everybody?
Professional wrestling.
You guys rock.
So, since Andre's on the call and I'm next, I got to get these two things out of my system. Number one, worldwide. And number two, and number two, since Chef was going to do a little something, I know if it's cool, I want to rock with you. ROCK with you, baby. Maxwell Urban Hang Suite. You know how it is, Chef. So I digress on that front. You can follow me on Twitter at SMShow1 or MCL92, StephenMikeShow.com, SoundCloud.com/MCLarkin92. You can check me out on the LFC podcast on all social media platforms from Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Google Play, SoundCloud, Anchor, wherever you get your podcasting audio platforms. And you can check it out on the WrestlingWithWrestling.com website and YouTube channel, respectively. And you can just check me out all over the place, man. I'm here, I'm there, I'm everywhere. I'm the podcast machine, Max Wrestling Podcast, Wrestling with Wrestling, Joker's Wild, Heelcast, the whole nine. Wherever you get your podcasts and platforms, you can hear this lovely voice. So thank you all for supporting me, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Go ahead, Nicola.
Mike, hold on. Before I get into the Demon Nest, you forgot to plug one thing you recently just did.
Which one? What's that?
Did you not just do the Bodega podcast?
Oh, yes, Bodega Wrestling Podcast with me and Jorge. I'm sorry. Jorge, I love you. Bodega Wrestling Podcast coming back. There it is. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Jorge, I sometimes love you.
Demoness, please plug your stuff. Let them know where they can find you, please.
Well, number one, I just want to thank you all for having me on the show in the first place. And also, Andre Corbeil, it's been an honour to finally speak to you as well. So that's been a highlight for me. And obviously working with you lovely people as always. As I said, Chef is the Demoness, his brother. Mike is as well. And so is Andre. So, you know, if you want to follow, obviously I'm going to give a shout out to Max, to Jokers, to Andre Corbeil, to who else? There's hundreds of podcasts I listen to, but every time I'm asked to do these podcasts, I am severely honoured and humbled. So thank you all. If you want to follow the Demoness, it's on Twitter. It's the Demoness Nicola 452. If you want to follow me on Facebook, it's Nicola McDonald Dave Smith. And Instagram, I never remember and I hardly use it, so I'll leave that one there. But yeah, keep watching the promo league, people. I am the champ as of right now, but I'm going to keep. Yeah. But I am going to keep entertaining you. I'm going to keep on bringing more evil, more darkness. So, yeah, pay attention to the promo league. Tune into Max. Follow them. But, yeah, thank you. All the same. Love you guys.
Well, hey, man, I've known about that violence. She threatened to Lizzie Borden my ass with an axe, so I get it. She's going to give me 40 whacks. Good.
I did, yeah. In my last promo, I actually kissed the axe and was like, yeah, that's a reminder. I never got to use it. That's what that was about.
It was threatening to Lizzie Borden my ass. I see how it is. Taking it back. Way back. Back in the time.
You managed to drown my ass, though. So, you know, I came back, though. So it's all good.
Resurrection.
One more plug.
Yeah, bro.
I forgot to also add into that list the Juice Pro Wrestling podcast. If you like dark metal mixed with professional wrestling, that's the podcast for you.
You got the juice. Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, no. I'm just going to do one because obviously everyone knows that we're with Wrestling, which we're super honored and humbled. And at Jokers Club Pod is our Instagram. And that's not an S, it's a Z. When you mess with me, I do a lot of ebonical stuff. It's just my culture. I don't know why, but it is what it is. So it's
because you've been getting fat. You've been getting
because I'm getting fat, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, so just that. And then I have my Heel Team S6X entertainment page, but I got some of my merchandise. I do a lot of art, things like that, blah, blah, blah. And listen, I had a great time. I had so much fun today. It's a blessing to be here and everything else. So I'm going to say we're going to fare our biddings goodbye, au revoir. Anything else you want to say? I say one, and we're out of here, ladies and gentlemen.
One more thing to say.
What happened?
I got one more thing to say.
Let them know.
Why don't we do this once a month, all of us?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, it's a given. It's a given. This is a definite.
Yep.
All right.
I'm in.
We'll figure something out and create a little bit of a character for the show, like a name and whatnot.
Listen, you
Mike's
guys.
still creative. Why don't we let Mike choose a name?
Or
actually, we let the Demoness choose a name. Actually, it would probably scare little children if we let her name the show.
Yeah, it'd probably be a very bad idea. Well, you've seen what my ideas or how they happen. So yeah, we'll let you pick the name because mine would be literally chilling.
Either way, fans, we'll work on it, fans, and we'll come up with something.
Oh, there you go.
But you guys like that idea?
Well, yeah, she had to kind of just gave it to her. You could just be just chilling, JUS chilling, just chilling. There you go.
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
No, like it.
Listen, we'll mess with this. Whatever they say, I am 100% with it. We're definitely going to do this once a month. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're out of here like Vladimir. One.
Peace. We out, baby.